Did you know that you can get better at Rocket League by improving the way that you breathe? I didn't think so. The stuff that I'm about to talk about in this video might possibly save your life. I'm not talking about just getting better at video games or dumb shit like that. This stuff is really important for a bunch of parts of your life, so let's get into it. First of all, let me say this. The reason that you want to improve your breathing pattern is so that you can get better concentration when you need it, and so that you can ground yourself in the moment. Let go of nerves that usually make you stiff and pretty much ruin your gameplay when you're in a stressful situation in game. First thing we have to establish is this. You need to stop mouth breathing if you ever do it. Breathing through the mouth is known to be very unhealthy and has many negative effects on the body. But the most relevant thing to this video, and the most important one, is that when you breathe through the mouth, you usually take in way too much oxygen, which is actually damaging. Also, you want to avoid taking deep breaths. There's actually no reason to take deep breaths if you look into it. Just think about when you usually take deep breaths. You take deep breaths when you feel like you're anxious and you want to relax. But when you do that, it actually has the opposite effect on you. When you take deep breaths, you actually reduce oxygenation of the brain, which can make you dizzy and a whole lot of other stuff. Keep that in mind. Breathe through your nose even when exercising. If you go jogging or walking or cycling, you might feel like you need to breathe through your mouth at some point. The truth is that if you start trying to breathe through your nose exclusively, even though you're gonna fail the first few times, eventually your body's gonna get used to it and you're gonna become able to breathe through your nose for long periods of time, even when cycling, jogging, etc. Now, once you've made it a habit to only breathe through your nose, the next important step is to get used to breathing in through your abdomen and breathing out through your abdomen. Right now, you might be used to breathing through your chest. The best way to identify your breathing pattern is to simply place one of your hands on your chest and the other one on your abdomen. And when you take a breath, you can tell which one moves. And you might be breathing through both at the same time. That's possible. You just want to make it a habit to only breathe through your abdomen so that you don't take in excess air. And there's some other reasons as well that you should be breathing through your abdomen and not through your chest, but I don't know everything. I'm not gonna lie, I'm no scientist, but you can find all the science behind everything that I'm saying and all the facts and all the evidence and everything in a book called The Oxygen Advantage by Patrick McNewn. So yeah, the next things that I'm gonna talk about in this video are breathing exercises. It might not be safe for some people to engage in these. I'm pretty sure you can't do this if you have a bad case of asthma, if you're pregnant, if you have some forms of heart disease, and there's a bunch of other conditions that make it so that you can engage in these activities or they might be harmful to you. So if you're not completely sure that you're healthy, I advise you to read the book The Oxygen Advantage so that you know that it's 100% okay for you to use these exercises. Now, first of all, there's something called the BOLT test. It stands for the body oxygen level test, and it's basically a test that you do so that you can determine your breathing volume. And you want to determine your breathing volume so that you know which exercises you can take and which ones will actually help you. So the way to do this is to inhale, exhale, then right after you exhale, hold your breath and start a timer and keep holding your breath until you feel a noticeable urge to take a breath. Once you feel that urge, or once any of your muscles start spazzing, then you stop your timer and you resume breathing normally. The amount of seconds that you could hold your breath in without feeling the urge to take a breath is your BOLT score, and the average BOLT score is 20 and the BOLT score of a healthy person is 40. If your score is below 20, you can improve it by just making it a habit to breathe through your nose exclusively and specifically breathing through your abdomen. And also, you gotta get used to breathing through your nose even when engaging in physical exercise. You can also get your BOLT score to 20 by using a method that's called breathing light, and you want to do this for about 10 to 15 minutes. And the way to perform this is to breathe as calmly as you can through your abdomen so that you create a tolerable hunger for air, but not strong enough for it to mess up your breathing pattern or make you feel like you're suffocating. You just want to create a tolerable hunger for air and maintain that hunger for about 10 to 15 minutes for every session. I personally use this technique for the first 2 days of actively trying to improve my BOLT score, and I took it from 20 to 25 in 2 days, so this is very useful. Now, once your BOLT score is at 20 or above, you can still use the technique of breathing light, but you can also start using some other breathing exercises. The first one is called the nose unblocking exercise. You can use this to unblock your nose, as the name suggests, when you have a stuffy nose, but this also works as an exercise to raise your BOLT score. So the way that it works is you inhale, then exhale, through your nose once, hold your nose shut, and start walking. You walk for a specific number of paces with your nose shut, and after all those paces you release your nose and continue breathing normally, and your normal breathing pattern should return in 3 breaths max. If you breathe more than 3 times and you're still out of breath from that walking with your nose shut, then you took too many paces and you gotta reduce them in the next breath hold. Now you repeat this process for 6 times in total, and you increase the number of paces that you walk on every single breath hold. So once you got a nice number of paces that you take on your first breath hold, it should be easy the first time, and you're not gonna feel that breathless the first time. But once you go through all the 6 repetitions and you increase the number of paces that you take every single time, this should feel like an exercise. The next one is called the breathing recovery exercise, and you want to do this one right after you engage in physical exercise. And the way you do this one is by walking for 3 to 5 minutes while simultaneously performing these following breath holds. So step 1, you exhale normally through your nose, and then you hold your breath for 2 to 5 seconds. Then you breathe normally through your nose for 10 seconds. Repeat these steps, and after your timer goes off, the exercise is done. And as I said, you perform all these steps while walking. This is very important. So yeah, man, these exercises should get you right so that you can breathe very calmly and lightly when playing Rocket League, so that you can perform better. As I said in the beginning of this video, this act of fixing your breathing can help you perform better in Rocket League or in any physical sport, but it can also make you healthier all around, so it can prevent cardiac arrest, diseases, all kinds of stuff. By this point, you should understand why this is so important and why I felt the need to make this video. That's all I had to say. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something useful today. And real quick, leave a like. Do it. Leave a like. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya. Peace.